Welcome to our weekly podcast. Well, we hope it's a weekly podcast. We're here today to discuss a special topic. I guess we all love these type of movies, the Disney movies in general. So everybody was pretty excited about that. We had a pretty good conversation last time about Hamilton, and we were really excited. So finally got that video up, and it worked out. Hopefully you saw it. If you haven't, go to our YouTube channel and find our Hamilton podcast as well as our Stranger Things podcast. So we're still trying out different things, and we're trying new mics, new setup. So hopefully everything works out, and we'll see how it goes. So today's topic, Disney movies.
Yay!
Yay! All right.
Disney Pixar included?
Let's kind of separate those because I think Pixar would win. You know,
Okay.
That's not a fair fight right there, I think. Well, I mean, it just depends.
Disney v Pixar.
There you go. So if you don't know, my name is Jim, and you can find me on Twitter at JimZ3.
I'm Claudia, and you can find me at Claudia V. Lemus, and that's Lemus.
Melinda at Melinda Lene.
Awesome. So those are our Twitter handles as well as other social media handles, and you'll see stuff pop out. So throughout the podcast, unless you're listening to it, then you will not see them pop out throughout the podcast. But I guess to start things off, what's your favorite Disney movie? I mean, that just
right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
The big question.
The big question.
You want to go first?
I guess I could say from the old ones from my childhood.
Yeah, from your childhood.
Definitely Lion King. I always cried like a big time baby.
Oh, the classic Lion King from the 90s.
From the 90s.
Yeah, I think Disney has been around forever, and we're gonna have a lot of like annotations because we're gonna be wrong in a lot of these things. But they've been around for a long time, and I think Lion King is a really good movie. I remember when that came out and brought tears. It's very, very emotional. Like the whole. Yeah. The music was awesome, and I don't know if you knew the main lion. Well, Simba was that Jonathan Taylor Thomas. All the girls liked them at the time. So, do you know who that is?
No.
Really? He was just
at the time.
My sister had a big crush on that dude. So he was on this show called Home Improvement. And with Tim Allen and all that.
The blonde kid?
Yeah, the middle one. Yeah.
Now you gotta go watch
Middle one. Yeah, that was him. So that was a big deal at the time because he was a big, star on back on TGIF. Remember we mentioned that last time? Nick at Night. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Shout out to Jim's sister.
Yeah, her sister Jennifer. There you go. It's my turn. I can be shut up. Yeah, she used to love that dude, and so that was good. No, and Lion King was an awesome movie. The themes in it were really cool. And just everything that happened in that movie was a pretty solid movie. Still holds up. And that's a good thing about Disney movies. They hold up, which is pretty cool. How about you, Melinda?
Well, as a child, my favorite one was The Lion King. And I remember my parents telling me that I watched it so many times on a daily basis that I ruined the VCR. The tape. Yeah, because I watched it so many times. But now, like, as an adult, if that's what you want to call what I am. I think my favorite is Mulan. I love Mulan. I love that she's like, of all, I think the princesses, she was the first one to really bring that, like, a feminist. She was this woman who made her way, to the top, in person in China or whatever. But I loved it. And the songs were so good also.
You would say that. Totally Melinda right there.
Yeah, Mulan. I was older when Mulan came out, so I saw it maybe once or twice, but it didn't really have that attachment to me. What about it, though? Just because of the character, the strong female?
She was just this strong. I mean, she did what she wanted. She didn't let anybody tell her what to do. She did to quote Crystal.
Yeah, she did what she
wanted when she wanted.
There you go. There you go.
But no, she didn't let anyone dictate what she wanted to do. She wanted to protect her dad, and I can see that. And she wanted to, do that for her dad. And she loved her family, and she loved, in the end, she ended up saving China.
Spoilers.
Like, that's insane.
Spoilers.
Oh, sorry, guys. Mulan wins in the end, but yes.
Cool. Yeah. I remember Eddie Murphy was the voice. Do you know who Eddie Murphy is?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
He's also one of my favorite Disney movies. Shrek. No, I'm just kidding. Shrek is not a Disney movie. But yeah, he was good in that one, I remember. And as well as, Donkey and Shrek. Not a Disney movie, I know. Yeah, one of my favorite movies when I was a kid, I had a couple of them. Pinocchio. So that's really old school. No, I was not born in the 40s, but that was on like in the vault or whatever it came out. I don't know how we got a copy of that because I know my parents had never bought the movies. I think probably like we got them from the library, and then you had 2 VCRs, and then you copy one tape to another. So pirating, old school
I
pirating.
you like a Bambi person. I don't know.
You know
why.
what? I did see Bambi too. I mean, imagine there wasn't any. Lion King came out like I was already born. That was a weird sound. So
bird, what is that?
It's like a bird inside here.
Okay.
Oh, it's that thing. It's framed.
Oh,
yeah. Anyway,
Caboose.
So Bambi, when I was a child, I cried when they killed his mom.
I don't think I've ever seen Bambi.
I'm sorry, I spoiled it for you.
I don't think I was allowed to watch it because it was so
All the
sad. And
violence?
even now, I'm like, I know, obviously, like I know what happened.
Were your parents NRA and pro?
No,
I
just I don't know. Maybe because it was sad. They knew the ending. I don't know,
Well,
but
it's Roma.
what does that have to what? No, they just wanted to protect me from that. Yeah,
it was really emotional. It was very sad.
Because even now I haven't seen it, and I know how sad it is. Because I don't want to feel sad.
Mm-hmm.
And then the whole story with Walt Disney and the reason that it was, he made Bambi because of his mom.
Really, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, his mom, both of his parents. There's like this whole story. Sorry if I'm wrong in advance, but there's this whole story about how he, after the success of the previous movies, he bought his parents a house. So they moved from their childhood home, and they moved to that house, not with Walt Disney, just both of his parents. And there was like a faulty gas leak or whatever the case was, and the house like exploded or something.
Wow, are you making that up?
No, I think
sounds.
I think that happened. I think this is
I
real. I've read it somewhere. I don't know if it's real. And so they died, and so I think he did that. I think he did Bambi after the death
it's
or
the
something.
Reason, like a lot of his movies, there's no
sad.
mother figures.
The orphans. Yeah, there's a lot of orphaned kids.
That's how he expressed his sadness.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah, no, and so that one I did like. As a kid, Thumper was awesome. He's awesome. The little rabbit. Bunny. And that was a cool movie. But the other one, like I was mentioning, Pinocchio. Pinocchio was like the one I watched all the time. I loved it.
I don't remember that movie.
You don't remember Pinocchio?
Like, obviously.
Kri Kri. Classic character Kri Kri. You mean Jiminy Cricket. Yeah. So Jiminy Cricket was the best. I mean, and Pinocchio, the whole story there.
Was there a whale?
There was a whale.
What happened? I don't remember Pinocchio.
So pretty much, what's really funny, I've read on other sites, cracked.com did a real funny thing about, Geppetto, which is the puppet maker or the
grandpa.
Well, he's the dad, I guess. He becomes his dad.
Well, he's old.
He's an old,
he's a grandpa.
Old people can be fathers also. They don't have to be grandparents. So pretty much in there, he was wishing for a child. He always wanted a child, but I guess he didn't know that you had to be married and then get.
He didn't know that?
I don't think so. That old man didn't know that, unless there's some backstory there. But I don't think they imply that he was married before and lost his wife or something like that. But really, Geppetto, he was wishing for a child. So instead of doing it the old-fashioned way, he wished for magic. I guess that worked out for him. So he made a wooden boy. It came to life. The fairy.
I'm a real boy.
Yeah, I'm a real boy from Shrek. Yeah, you kind of know. So Pinocchio gets made, and the whole thing is, he lies. So he has his nose grows when he lies, and he has his conscience, which is a cricket known as. Kri, kri, kri. I knew him as Jiminy Cricket, and he was really cool. And he gets in a lot of trouble. The scary thing so the funny thing with Cracked was they mentioned this guy wishes for the son to be alive, and then he's like, okay, go to sleep. Next day you're going to school. And he's like kicking him out right away, which is really funny, But he gets into trouble, and he gets pretty much kidnapped really into this show.
With the fox?
Yeah, the fox kind of sells him into some sort of slavery. It's really deep. No, but because he has to perform in the circus. And the circus is crazy. And you don't remember this? This is good.
No,
it's
I
pretty
remember
dark.
snippets of it. That's why I remember the fox and stuff. But no, I don't remember the circus.
It's really dark, and it goes into it, and they make him perform. And the whole thing, I have no strings to hold me down. You might have heard that in Avengers 2, one of your favorite movies.
Oh, yeah.
So Ultron mentions that.
Yeah.
So that's where it comes from if you're not familiar with that. So he ends up getting shipped off to this island where the kids can smoke and there's boys. It's called Pleasure Island. And these boys, like
Peter
little
Pan?
kids. No, that's Neverland.
Neverland. No,
Yeah.
but like, is it like Peter Pan?
Kind of, but except they're smoking and drinking. Kids are smoking and drinking and playing pool,
Okay,
gambling.
So the American version.
The American version of Peter Pan. Yeah, so they're doing all this crazy illegal stuff, and what happens is that these kids, they get turned into donkeys and they put them in barrels and get shipped off to some third world country to work in mines. Pretty much, these are boys, and it's really sad. It stuck with me. The line, I still say it all the time. The "I want my mama." There's a little donkey boy crying for his mom as he's being
The
stuffed in
donkeys can talk?
The donkeys can talk because they're boys, and they got transformed.
And also, it's Disney, so
And it's Disney.
animals talk.
And that terrified me, so I didn't want to. That's why I didn't drink and smoke. Now I do, but no,
Now
I
we
don't.
know
I don't
why.
smoke. I don't
Kids,
smoke or drink.
Don't listen to Jim.
Yeah, I don't listen. No, but that really terrified me, And as a kid, seeing these boys turning into donkeys was the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life, and
That
it
sounds
affected me.
extremely traumatizing.
It was. So yeah, then eventually they break out, and the sad thing is none of those kids stay donkeys, And
There wasn't a happy ending?
no, they got shipped to that mine,
Oh
and
my goodness.
they worked a good life, I guess.
Disney.
I know. So
Breaking our
then
hearts.
they go out there and there's a shipwreck or something. I don't know what happens. And then Geppetto tries to look for him, and Pinocchio finds out that Geppetto got swallowed by a whale. So
How did that happen?
because Geppetto got like word that he's in this island, so he sailed off and tried to look for Pinocchio, and he went off, and this giant whale, man-eating whale, ate him, and he was living in that whale. So Pinocchio makes his way to the whale. They smoke him out, which is really, really smart of Pinocchio to do. They start a fire, and the whale sneezes. They get out.
That's animal abuse.
I know, right? Where was PETA then? So then, Geppetto drowns pretty much, and Geppetto, no, what did I say?
Pinocchio.
Yes, Pinocchio saves Geppetto, and by doing that, Pinocchio dies and Geppetto's alive. So by doing a selfless act, he's granted to be a real boy, and that's where it ends. So it was a really good story, and that's how the story of me, how I became a real boy.
Okay.
So anyway, sorry, long
Not your
story.
typical coming of
So
age.
now you don't
We
have
learned
to.
something about
Now
We
you don't
did.
have to watch Pinocchio because that was it. It's really good, really scary. There's some live action versions out there, and Pinocchio's Revenge, which are like takes on that, which are B horror movies. So anyway, sorry, got off topic there for a while. Where am I? I just kind of zoned out.
Really likes Pinocchio.
He
I really like
does.
Pinocchio. So yeah. So speaking of that, what are some of your? I guess not even speaking of that. Your favorite Disney princesses or characters? I guess. Let's be fair. Mulan. Oh, you already said that.
I did
Mulan.
say that.
Was she a princess? Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
Right.
Queen of China. Well, she wasn't
She
the
became-
queen, but
she
like
became
she
the
was like
queen.
an empress. I don't know, but she was
Something.
awesome. But
She's
she's
royalty.
one of like the princesses.
Mm-hmm. How about you?
Well, from the old times, I would say I like the wife of Mufasa in Lion King.
The old times, 1990.
1990. I remember
1994 maybe
Safiri. I don't know what was the name of the lioness that was married to Mufasa.
I don't
She was
know.
real strong and cool.
The only female like lioness that I remember is Nala,
No.
That's the little girl. That
the
was
Simba's
but-
friend. Yeah.
But Simba's mom,
I don't remember her
was
name.
also in the movie, and I thought she was really cool. But now I really like Frozen. Like I like
yeah, Frozen was
that
good.
movie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
good.
speaking of Frozen, that
Elfo.
was the what? Yeah.
Elfo.
Pop quiz. What's the name
What
of
is-
the
of
snowman?
snowman.
Now I know it's Olaf, but I thought it was Olafo.
Elfo.
Elfo.
Elfo, yeah. He's a great character,
Yeah,
Elfo.
classic Disney character.
Yep. And I really liked Frozen was cool too. The music was really smart and
What I loved
It was
about Frozen, aside from the music, which was so good, was that Elsa, who was the queen, didn't have like a love interest. Like she chose her sister. That was the point of it. You know,
Mhm.
like they chose family over, dumb Hans who was evil.
yeah.
But in the end, like family was the one that triumphed in the end, and that was so It's new
It's
to me,
new,
I think.
yeah.
Yeah, because all, in Disney, all the, you end up with your love interest or whatever. But this one's the family that was first, and I love that.
That
There was
cool.
like a lot of controversy about that too, because people like when the movie came out, like there was people that were like religious or like, oh no, like what kind of message is Disney sending? Like where's the guy? Like this is not traditional, and like just a lot of argument. But I think it's also empowering to see that like the princess, the Queen Elsa didn't need a guy to lead. She finds herself, she breaks the ice, and it was just it's
Breaks
just
the
really
ice.
lovely.
There you go.
She lets it out. I'm looking forward to the next movie. I'm hoping that they make a second part.
Really?
Yeah, they are.
Are they?
Yeah, they already announced it, and that's exciting.
So some of the funny parts in that one with Anna, I think the whole thing making fun of the Disney trope where she falls in love right away.
Yeah, and the next song, like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm engaged.
I'm engaged, and that was really funny. And I think Elsa calls her out on that, and which is really hilarious. And that was really funny in that movie.
She was a good big sister. Are you dumb?
No,
Pretty don't do that.
That's the way it should be, right? In all these Disney movies. But
The little sisters don't listen, of course.
shout out.
Shout out to my sisters.
Okay.
We'll visit that topic later.
Yeah.
So that was that's a really cool one. I know we're missing so many. We're in limited time here, but we had Frozen, which was mentioned. One of mine, I guess, my favorite Disney. It's a tie, I think. The Princess. I really like Ariel. And that was when I was growing up.
As a child, I think my favorite Disney princess was Ariel until I grew up. Well, like to my age, I'm like, she is 16 years old.
Yeah.
Why do you want to get married?
Was she 16 or was she younger than that?
She was 16. Like, you are a child.
Yeah.
Why are you talking to your dad like that? No.
So that was another one of those where you're not allowed to watch that.
No. But she was my favorite as a child. But then I grew up and I'm like, what? Disney, no. Why?
Yeah, that's true. That's one of those things where Frozen came back and said, you know what, that you're a little kid. Yeah. How do you? A 16-year-old child doesn't know true love, I guess. And how old was Eric? He was probably like 35 or something.
No.
Jim.
I'm not 35.
What are you trying to do?
I'm not there.
No, the biggest.
You're not 16.
I'm not. I'm 23.
Okay.
No, the biggest age gap between couples in all the Disney films is in Tangled.
Oh, really?
So between Rapunzel and what was his name?
I never watched that movie.
No,
I heard
it's
it's
so
good.
good.
I
Have you
never
not
seen it all the way through. I know it's good though.
She chops her hair. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
No, but she's not the one that chops it off. It's Finn. Finn is a guy.
Finn.
So in the movie, she's 18 and he's 26. So of all the Disney couples, they have the biggest age gap between the relationship. Yeah.
That's weird. The other one that I thought, which kind of turned it around at the time, is a 90s one as well, Beauty and the Beast. Belle was really cool because she was like super intelligent and she can hold her own against the beast and kind of tame the beast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She
Like
loved
that?
books.
Tame the Beast?
It was
Yeah, I know. She was very intelligent. And what's funny, at the time I didn't know, I mean, now looking back, Lemure and all that, it was taking place in France. It took place in France. And I didn't know that as a kid, it's in English, right?
Well, it starts in the first song. Bonjour, bonjour.
That's the, I was like, cool, I didn't put it together that it took place, and I still actually don't know when it took place in time, which is pretty cool. Another layer of the Disney movies where you go back and kind of see the time and place and the political things that were going on and in history, which is really cool, like Mulan and Beauty and the Beast and things like that, which is cool. So I really like Belle and that whole thing, the whole she fell in love with him. He wasn't that typical prince. I mean, at the end he did become, but she didn't know that, So that was cool.
I give it to Disney that like they were trying to be more diverse and come up with new storylines. Like that Hawaiian princess is gonna come out pretty soon.
Moana.
Lilo?
No,
Lilo
no,
and
it's
Stitch?
spelled Moana. Moana. I don't know how. She's like a Hawaiian of that descent or that culture. So I don't know how you'd pronounce that.
Me
But
neither. But
and that the music
From Hamilton. He
What?
wrote, right?
Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote the music
Oh,
for
really?
that. For that, yeah. For that
No
movie.
idea. I had no idea.
Yeah,
That's
so,
pretty
you
cool.
know, it's gonna be
It's
good.
exciting.
I
It's
knew
gonna be all
you.
rapping, or is it gonna be a
I'm a
rap?
Disney
Princess
princess.
too, right?
Okay, that was my beef with Disney. I got really upset when I found out about it because the very first Hispanic princess didn't even merit her own movie. They're giving her a show. So we still don't have a
Really?
Disney Hispanic.
She's on Disney Channel, right?
Yeah, there's still no Disney Hispanic princess movie. Like it's a show, you know.
Dang.
And that's when I found out, when I saw that, you know, everyone is being all happy and me half glass empty. I'm like, where is the movie that, you know? Because not everyone. I don't watch
So
Disney
what is
Channel,
this?
so I don't know.
What's the name of the character?
Her name is
El Diablo.
Chip.
No, what?
No,
What?
I don't remember her name. It starts with an E, there's an L, and there's an N, and there's an A or something.
That doesn't help.
Elena. Is it Elena?
I think I just spelled that, but I don't think that's it.
Let's Google it so we can find out.
Great
and be
podcast.
correct.
Yeah.
Let's all Google it.
Let's all Google it.
Yeah, no, but that made me so sad because I don't watch Disney Channel anymore. So
Are you sure? I think you
Elena.
watch.
is it Elena?
Disney
Elena of Avalor.
Avalon.
Avalon.
That doesn't sound like
Avalor.
Princess Elena of Avalor.
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 Avalor. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
so
Latina.
it's awesome, and she already has a person in Disney World who's already, you know, who has a
Okay.
costume and
Yeah.
who's representing her and stuff. So they just, you know, dubbed her a princess.
Mm-hmm.
But it just makes me sad that she's not in a movie like that. My heart broke.
Hopefully it'll happen
Yep,
someday.
someday.
Disney
Yeah, well, I mean,
execs, if you're watching this,
they went the other way with Princess and the Frog, which was different, which is
Tiana.
really cool. Tiana was cool. That was a cool movie.
yeah, that was a really,
Different.
really good movie.
Yeah, so that was, you know, I enjoyed that one. Again, I'm a lot older now, so when I show my daughter these movies or my son, they latch on to certain characters. I think, like, my daughter, who does she like? I mean, she likes them all. She likes all the princesses. But yeah, that's one of those movies. How about any other things?
Well, we've just been talking animation. What about Disney movies? Is that going to be in this podcast, or is that a whole other animal?
We can,
Another podcast.
another
I feel
podcast.
so.
Yeah, there's so many out there. I can't think of any.
Shotgun
But
Star Wars.
Shotgun Star Wars. Yeah.
Say
Favorite Disney princess.
Han Solo.
Okay. It's
So-
2016, right? 2016. So
Least favorite Disney movie. We should do that.
we're gonna be negative here. All right. Well, what about you? You have something in mind?
Yes, I could never watch Aladdin.
What is
I was
wrong
gonna
with
say,
you?
I was gonna say
Never.
Pocahontas.
What? Oh, that's
That one was okay,
touchy.
but because the tree freaked me out. But Aladdin, I just found it
Aladdin.
so
I forgot about
obnoxious.
Aladdin. Aladdin
I
is the
love
greatest
Aladdin.
Disney
I
movie.
want to be
Genie.
the negative one here, but I was like, oh my gosh, I can never finish.
What
this
is wrong with
movie.
Aladdin? Why don't you like it?
I don't know. Like, there's just something that I would fall asleep, and my mom would always play it, but I would always fall
Oh,
asleep.
the music is so
It's
good in that
so
movie.
good.
That's
Friend
another
Like
one of those.
Me,
Yeah.
Like,
A Whole New
Genie,
World. That's a
A
good
Whole
song.
New-
But
those
for
are
me to watch the
classics.
whole movie, no, I would just skip to that part where she's
Have you-
flying on the carpet.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
have you heard the Broadway musical version of it?
No, and I probably will not.
Listen to
Yeah.
it. Maybe that'll hook you because the songs are so good. They're
Are they
different.
different?
They're
Oh, okay.
different. Yeah.
I've
Their
seen
interpretation of like Friend Like Me and those, they incorporate all Disney films in it. And so they have snippets of different, of Little Mermaid and different movies in that one song. And it's
Yeah.
really, really good.
Like a marathon, or what's it called?
Like a mashup?
There you go.
It's kind of like a mashup, yeah. But, well, listen to it. It's good.
or like a medley. Is it medley?
A
Yeah,
medley.
like a
That's what it's.
medley.
That's what it's called.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
It's called the
Yeah.
Genie Medley. Is the name of the song.
That's pretty
It's
cool.
really, really good.
See,
Yeah.
so I've been to Disneyland and I saw the Aladdin show there. It wasn't like the Broadway one because it was pretty straightforward, but it was cool because Genie kind of improv'd and he'd kind of throw some topical stuff into the humor, which is really funny. So he stole the show in the that show in Disney. But also in the movie, it was great. Robin Williams was awesome.
He ad-libbed the majority of that movie.
Yeah, it was
Did
such a great
not
movie. Aladdin.
Like it.
And, like, what? What about it? You just don't know?
I
Okay.
don't know. I would fall asleep. It would
So,
just be very boring.
That
to
was
me.
a very boy movie. So that one, like Aladdin, no, being like a kid, that was one of those. Because think about it, a lot of these Disney movies
That's
were
probably
were geared towards girls. You know, like Little Mermaid. I mean, I liked it, but Pinocchio was, I guess, like a traditionally boy movie, that kind of thing.
Why?
Dumbo.
Because
he was a boy.
The male was a lead. What do you have to say about The Force Awakens,
The
Jim?
Force Awakens. I really like The Force Awakens.
Okay, and that's not geared toward boys.
No, it's not. But as a little kid, you didn't have a lot of Disney movies aside from, I mean, if you look at it, Little Mermaid, I don't know that time. I mean, Lion King also was that way as well, but that was after the fact. But yeah, just Aladdin, you can kind of gravitate towards Aladdin. He was really smart and sly and quick-witted and on his feet. Oh,
yeah,
I
like
love
he's
that song.
just so upbeat. I really like Aladdin.
Aladdin is great. It's a
I
great
like Dumbo. Like,
Dumbo.
Go figure.
That's one of the ones where I kind of.
They're actually gonna make a live action Dumbo by Tim Burton. So
It's
it's
gonna
gonna
be
be dark.
Yeah.
It's gonna. It's probably gonna be Helena, who's gonna be the mom, and Johnny Depp, who's gonna play Dumbo.
All the characters from every other
Yeah.
movie that he does. Yeah, no, I really like Aladdin. Give it another shot. Watch Aladdin. It's great.
Maybe. I don't know.
So that's
Maybe when I have kids, I'll like it.
That's one of my total favorite. It's up there. So rank. I guess we got to come up with a rank. Nah, we shouldn't. That'll take too long. We got to
How
get
many
kicked out
Disney
of here.
ones? I give it like 4 out of the 5 Disney ones. Ding.
I give it 5 out of 5 Disney ones.
For Aladdin,
Mm-hmm.
like a 2 out of 5.
You haven't even seen it.
From what I've seen, 2 out of 5. Even when they had the musical at school, I did not go, and my sister was in it.
Oh,
like,
that's why.
I didn't like it. I
That's
was just
why.
like, I didn't want to fall asleep.
So bad.
That's
It was
why.
nothing
It
to do
explains
with
it.
that. No, it's just that I don't like that movie. I went to Ariel. I went to Wizard of Oz.
Was she in those?
Yeah. I don't know what the Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
she
no,
was in Little Mermaid.
Yeah, no, I remember seeing the Aladdin one here locally at that was a really good production too. So the students do a real good job. But Aladdin is great. It's awesome. Yeah, so that might be it. Anything else you want to add? We're going to get kicked out of this room shortly.
We are.
So
What time
we're
is
waiting
it?
up there. It's
I wish
already-
we could have discussed the Grimm brothers. The brothers Grimm.
The history.
Okay.
I know.
well,
No, we don't have time.
We haven't been kicked out yet. So if you want to go out for a little bit.
I was pretty shocked about what I read about the real story on
Sleeping Beauty.
Okay.
Oh my lord! Did you read it? Did you read it?
Sure.
So she's supposed to, if I remember correctly, like she falls asleep in the tower, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's asleep, and instead of the prince waking her up with a kiss to break the spell, he rapes her.
Really?
And I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And so Disney completely changed that around, and of course
Made it
she
romantic
wakes him
and
up,
yeah.
like she wakes up and he fights the dragon, but like in reality, like he rapes her, and I'm like, that's horrible.
Even thinking of the Disney part, that's kind of creepy though. It's a dead body, for all you know, and you go and kiss the dead body. That's just weird intentions there. But that's very strange. No, I hadn't heard of that version
and
of it.
They changed all the Disney movies really. In Snow White,
Pinocchio.
it's the true love's kiss who wakes her up. But in the real original ones, it was really like he had her like hopped up, propped up on his horse, and so as he was like, going off with her with the dead body or whatever Snow White was, the thumping of the horse is really what woke her. It wasn't the kiss. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's so weird. No, the one that I've heard is the Little Mermaid, which is really. Have you read about what that one was?
The
Pretty
mermaid
dark.
lore. I'm sure.
Yes.
I read it yesterday, but I can't
You
remember
did?
right now.
No, so the Little Mermaid, I think pretty much she wants to marry or go with the prince
Princess
or whatever. Mm-hmm. And
Princess Eric.
Princess
Prince Eric.
He could be a princess if he wants to. That's
Whatever.
fine.
Yeah.
But no, the whole thing is that she makes a promise, breaks a promise. I don't think she can meet the terms and becomes sea foam. And pretty much that's it. Happy ending, and that was the old, in a nutshell, that's what it was. It's very dark. So she doesn't get the prince. I think the witch, the sea witch, ends up marrying the prince. So imagine that the worst case scenario in Little Mermaid happening, that's what the original is based on. So it's pretty freaky and scary. I'm glad we didn't get that version. And I think our camera stopped recording. So we're going to switch to that one up there, and hopefully we're here still. So I guess that's our cue to wrap up for the day. Thanks for joining us. We're going to jump into Disney a little bit more, kind of focus in on maybe the live action stuff, which will be pretty cool. So thanks for joining us. Again, my name is Jim Zavala.
Claudia.
Melinda.
And this has been Kinda Sorta Maybe podcast. Thanks for joining us.
Bye. Dun, 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 dun.
Fireball.
Okay.